And this particular gentleman, you might not immediately recognize. Very, very dapper gentleman, indeed, as you'll see, who's spent, well, it's his 35th year anniversary, although he would contend that it's actually his 36th anniversary. If you don't recognize him straight off, you just have to look at the smile. And the interesting thing is this gap between his teeth. It's actually really interesting. So if this gentleman would like to come and join me, I would really appreciate it.
Gee, that's it.
Nice suit. It's a nice suit, you know? It's nice ties.
I'm tall. Same tie.
So anyway, Manny said, well, he actually started in 1978 in June, and so he was quick to tell me that it really wasn't 35 years, it was 36 years, but that's by the way. Okay, now let me tell you about Manny. Manny started in our Fulton Brewery in New York. He comes from New York. You'll get to hear that a bit later on. And Manny,
we shut that down, didn't we, David?
Sorry?
We shut that brewery down.
Yeah, we did. We shut that down.
Thanks,
Not only because of that. All right, so yeah, Manny, the folks in the Fulton Brewery are known as the Fulton Mafia. This actually goes very well with Manny since he has Sicilian genes, and they used to do crazy, weird, creative things. I'm told. I wasn't there, but from what I understand, Manny was in the lab there. And one of the things they used to do in the lab was they made bio-bombs. You know, Kelly, this is kind of due diligence, background check, you know. And these bio-bombs were such that you mix up these strange things together, like spent grains and sugar and water and yeast and whatever. And every now and again, these bio-bombs would actually go off, and you get these obnoxious odors wherever these bio-bombs went off. Now, sometimes it was the lab where actually Manny was, so I'm told, but sometimes it was people's offices that they put these things in. And of course, when one of these things went off, you had to scatter because the smell, it was all sorts of, it was hydrogen sulfide, rotten eggs, catty flavors, all sorts of things like this, obnoxious stuff. And this is something which I'm told that the people in the lab where Manny was, I'm not accusing Manny of being involved in this, but they,
I don't know.
yeah, exactly. So, but the sad thing about this was that if you have one of these bio-bombs going off, it's actually very interesting, and you get these odors going through, if you're wearing woolen clothing, the sulfur odors actually get into the wool. And when you go home that evening, and you meet your significant other, spouse, friends, whatever, you are smelling of whatever that bio-bomb smelled of. And so this was really interesting, but in New York anything goes, you know, so just saying, you know. The other thing, I have another prop for this other thing, it's actually very interesting. I was told about this the other day and I didn't fully understand, but now I do. Of course, we in the brewery, we always wear hard hats, you know, it's a typical hard hat, you know, very typical. But when some of our beers have corn syrups, and you'll see here that there's a flap right here. You'll see there's a flap, and you can see that he was involved in this because he's laughing. He knows exactly what's going on. So in the lab, what they used to do was they used to take the corn syrup, and they used to put it right in the flap here. They used to pour the corn syrup in the flap, and then close the flap, and then put the whole hat into a cold room where everything would harden. Okay. And then, when some unsuspecting person wanted to go into the brew house where it's really hot in summer and things like this, the first thing they would do was to give them one of these hard hats and then put it on. They'd walk into the brew house the corn syrup would heat up, and the corn syrup just went straight down. I'm just saying, Kelly, that, you know, we have creative people here. Yeah, this is, you know, so, but I had to...
We call those the good old days.
Manny is Director of Technical Innovation and Development. From the Fulton Brewery, he came to corporate. From corporate, he then went to Irwindale, where he was in quality there for a few years, actually. Came back to corporate and was working for a guy called Jerry Seeby in a place called Process Improvement and Development. That was a learning exercise for Manny. He's a survivor, as you can see. And then when I joined the company, he joined me and went through the various things there. Manny has done some wonderful things though for the company. One of the things which the two of us, you know, created was we just wanted to know more about the consumer, because we wanted to be able to make the kinds of products that the consumer really wants. And we felt that the tools we had were not really good. So we started a technical insights team, and Manny actually, you know, led that and came up, you know, with some consumer tools that to this day enable us to understand the actual consumer. Not only that, but our parent companies, SAB Miller and Molson Coors, are now using these tools, which were essentially, you know, invented by Manny. So you know, Manny in this whole journey of his, and is still with us, which is a great thing, you know, enables us to be able to make products, which his team does, such as Red's Apple Ale, Red Strawberry, Third Shift, this year Fortune, Miller Fortune, that sort of just come out, Smith & Forge that we're just launching. A whole host of products that Manny and his team have been able to actually develop, which are now growing the business, and growing the business significantly. And this is a wonderful thing that we're doing now, all due to the fact that we started with a risk to be able to try to better understand the consumer. Now, outside of work, Manny has passions, besides his family and so on. I want to recognize that Gracie is here this evening, his wife, and Kimberly is here, his daughter. But outside of the family, Manny has three main passions. One is Syracuse. Anything orange. Orange, it's all about orange here, okay?
Oh, orange man!
So it's Syracuse, that's a great passion. The second passion is golf. And, you know, Manny, during the summer months, plays with such luminaries as Jim Sheehy, Roy Bixby, Doug Heckler. Every week they play golf together, you know, it's just a wonderful thing. The third passion is outside Christmas decorations. Now, let me explain this. Let me explain this, because this is, you know, so each year, Manny has he's always been an overachiever, always. So he puts outside these Christmas decorations, and they're not just any Christmas decorations. I mean, you know, if you go into Google Earth, you can see these things in space. I mean, they're out there. They are really out there. Matter of fact, Manny has to be really careful when he switches these things on in case he actually shuts down the Milwaukee grid. But you know, so very passionate about this. So things which you can see from space, Manny, I mean, it just goes to show how creative you are. So with all that, okay, and I've sort of overdone my time here. I'd like to really seriously congratulate Manny, who's doing some wonderful work for the company, and with lots of you in your teams and so on. So Manny, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.